Welcome back, folks, to World of Warships Legends. I'm Soopa-Dave, and today we're in AL Chappie again. This is actually kind of almost turning into a Russian week here on the channel. Didn't mean to. But, that being said, I don't have that many matches. I probably only have about 4,000 or 5,000 matches in Warships on standard. And we're gonna about to do something today that I haven't been able to do probably less than 10 times in the entire game. Also, I'm better now than I ever was. But with that being said, my first 2,000 matches were pretty rough, or 1,500 matches, maybe 2,000, were real rough. Me just sailing around, laughing, having a good time shooting off broadsides in battleships while I got murked. Okay, so you gotta keep that part of that in mind when you hear me say that. I don't normally get great spotting, but I think there's less than 10 matches ever that I'm going to be able to use island cover basically the entire match. Alright? And we're not going to have to spot with your face, because you can see based off of our stats, I do a lot of spotting with my face, meaning I don't have front, I'm not hiding behind island cover all the time. Siegfried pops out, and we're going to go ahead and try to get to this island. Now, I wasn't originally going for island cover, I was going to kite, but you can see Siegfried is not really charging in, and we're going to our teammates' credits, we're going to have some decent spotting in this game. Especially later on with the Turpits, a friendly Turpits. So kudos to them guys, man. But anyway, guys, you're going to see we are going to be as annoying as all heck. And we're going to try to be a little bit careful. Our anchorage goes down because probably not the best play charging with an anchorage into a cap. I mean, you don't really have a lot of tools on that ship to be charging in all willy-nilly, but we're going to start taking shots at everybody. That's what I do in Chappie. I do it a lot in light cruisers, or in cruisers in general, but in particular in Chappie, I just try to annoy everybody that I can in this entire match, right? That's what I do. I try to do it anytime I get an opportunity. If I can shoot something, I'm going to shoot it and just annoy them. Because it gets people to do, when you're getting melted by a Chappie, and we all have, right? By a good Chappie player, the one thing you want to do is murder the Chappie the best you can. It's one thing, too, while playing this ship that I've noticed. So we're going to go ahead and keep shooting at Roma. Big thing here is I want to keep these guys from getting the A cap, right? And we want to be real careful. We are getting spotted from our cruiser that is over there. And honestly, not a whole lot we can do about it. And you can start to see AL Chappie's HE is starting to work its magic, right? We've had a slow start with fires, right? But more importantly, Chappie does a lot of damage with the actual HE shells. So it isn't German pen, it isn't British HE penetration. It's its own penetration. I believe the value is it can penetrate 37. I think it's what it is. But it's not based off of like another country or something. But it has its own unique penetration value. And you're going to see that come into, play into effect as we get, a lot of times with a light cruiser, you shoot HE on a battleship, you're just going to shatter all the time. And you can see we're pinning a lot. And we actually started with AP, firing AP in this match, if you didn't know. And you can see I am just trying to keep this cap from getting taken the best I can. Now, again, I am behind this island cover. The Chappie is not a ship you want to be up close and personal with, and you're gonna see that kind of play effect here. So if you can use an island cover, I know some people get mad about cruisers sitting behind islands, but it's a smart thing to do. Why put yourself at risk if you don't need to? And you can see right here, we are being obnoxiously annoying right now to these guys. We don't have many fires, but they keep trying to set the cap, and we have, 11 defends right now? and they're not being able to quite get it. And you see, when I shoot with a lot of light cruisers, I use my auto aim to light aim in and then go up a little bit so I can get superstructure. I'm not trying to hit the belt on when you're using HE. Obviously, you're trying to go for superstructures. And this Iowa is getting a slow dose of what it is to be focused by a Chappie. And to our credit here, I don't get a lot of spotting here, but our battleship is now going to push up and help spot for a significant part of this match. And we're just going to try to be careful that we don't get absolutely wrecked by Iowa, because if a good Iowa player sees me and can clear an island, I'm dead. I'm going to be dead in one salvo real easy. And we're just going to keep launching the rear turrets over to keep him going. We do got a permanent fire. Now, we get really unlucky on this match. As you're going to see by the end of this match, we don't even get a witherer. So that kind of lets you know basically all our damage didn't come from fires. It came from HE shell damage. And, this thing, the HE on this is just awesome. So we're going to get into a position to make sure we're going to help our teammate out. We are in a close match, and we are actually losing slightly. Points are tied, but now ships are tied too. But you can see it's a very close game. It doesn't get much closer than this at all. And again, I don't want to put myself in a bad position, because I honestly could be the difference maker, and you're going to see in this match, probably I was, honestly. So we were super annoying. We held them guys off from getting the KE cap for a long time, which actually has kept us tied in points. That got us to a position where we're tied in points, holding them off as long as we did. And now we are going to back up. Our battleship here is going to try to actually take the cap, which is a good thing. He's also not just going to hide the entire time. He's actually going to be very helpful here in a little bit. He's going to do some more spotting for us. But we're going to have, between the cruiser that popped up, he died early. He made a mistake charging in this battleship. Honestly, we're going to have some pretty solid spotting for the most part. And we're going to go ahead. We see Georgia now, and we're trying to do our best to lob what we can here. And we're just going to try to help get rid of him. I know that is a crazy thing. You see I get spotted, and I thought I was angled enough, and you're going to see clearly I was not. Okay. Siegfried's got some pretty mean guns when it hits. So you can see I'm moving up. I'm trying to get back behind this island, and we're going to get our revenge. He hit us pretty good, but we're going to go ahead and shred him the best we can now. And we're going to try to stay angled. But that's what I mean. You don't want to get hit by Chappie. That was just the cruiser hitting us, I mean, granted, a pretty solid cruiser with decent guns, but you don't... I know that sometimes it's fun to be in the middle of stuff, but there's certain ships that just can't do it. And Chappie is not a ship you want to be necessarily in the middle of the cap with all the time. And I'm an aggressive player, and I'm saying that. But sometimes it's smart to take island cover and do what we did here, and we are just absolutely shredding him down. Again, not super luck. I think this is one of the few times we actually got a permafire by Iowa. Oh, we didn't get a permafire. So you can see we could have had a very good actually damage game in this one had we gotten lucky with fires on being permanent. We're starting that terrible amount of fires, but almost all of our damage is basically coming from our actual guns. So we're gonna go ahead and while our Brandenburg's backing up there, or our battleship, I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was a Brandenburg. Backing up, we're going to help get rid of them. And now we're going to focus on Kansas. And honestly, a Kansas, when you're in a Chappie and you see a Kansas and you see all that superstructure, it's a good thing. And you see, I blind fired dark again like I did on the Roma. That Roma, when he was sitting in the smoke, didn't do much, but you can see it's still coming right down to the wire right now. And we're just going to keep blind firing that Kansas. He gets himself spotted for just long enough for me to shoot. He's got to be thrilled about that. I've been in a Kansas and I've been focused by cruises too, so I feel the pain. I feel the pain, buddy. But anyway, we're just trying to be smart here. I want to make sure I don't get flanked on the other side because there's somebody in the cap. So I'll make sure I'm being careful. We're going to go ahead and shoot off some more HE at Kansas. And Kansas is not going to be too entirely thrilled. As you can see, 7 full pins. Every time we're shooting, we're getting a lot of pins into that superstructure. We are not getting a whole lot of shatters. So that means we are doing actual significant amounts of damage to him. And he does go ahead and damage con the fire that we did have on him. But we can see here, now the permafire goes to our Brandenburg. We got kind of unlucky there. And we're going to go ahead and finish him off. And now, like I said, really close battle. So if I had pulled myself out, tried to be too aggressive in this match, we would have 100% lost it. We wouldn't have been able to keep that cap that I defended as long as we could. We would have lost it at an earlier time. And now, Kansas was sitting behind an island for a while, but now Roma is pushing on him. Kansas has full health, actually. Kind of surprising. He must have been kind of hiding behind that island for a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and fire at Roma here. And we're going to do our best to actually try to finish him off now. And use the edge of that island that he's kind of hiding behind to get him. But when you see that in this, in this match that I can actually use island cover, when this match was going on, I was like, man, I'm going to get dev struck by something. Because any match I get lucky and I get to use some island cover, a destroyer will try to pop around the corner, or something will happen, which makes it kind of rough to do. Especially because I try to scoot up for island cover. I don't necessarily try to take the back island. But this island is a very good island for it. Now in Roma, you can see we're getting a couple shatters. So I start to adjust here where I'm shooting. And but by that time, he's dead. Now, it's just one guy left, right? We have a Brandenburg sneaking up behind him. I'm right here in the middle. And we have a Kansas off to our left. Again, behind an island. I'm not sure in a Kansas why you'd be behind an island. That doesn't seem like maybe the ideal action to me by any means. Not ripping on him. Maybe he's new to the Kansas or something. And we are going to turn our attention now to the Michelangelo, which honestly I don't think, I think he was really worried about the Kansas, not so much me. But anyway, he is not going to be here too long. And I'll tell you what, I really like Chappie. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's such a good ship. And the only weakness it has is being up close. If you get up close, it can be real rough. But for the most part, if you get too close in, it can be bad. Outside of that, though, pretty fun ship to annoy everybody on the map with. As we do, we end up with getting a 2,900, almost a 3,000 base here in this game, helping our team obviously win and annoying the crap out of everybody on our island vacation. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you folks next time. Have a good one.